Well, Sacramento is buzzing over the prospect of changing the way the state redraws its congressional maps.
And that is because Governor Newsom is threatening to stop playing fair on redistricting. This is all due to legislative moves in another state that's starting today.
That's right. And ABC 7 News political reporter Monica Madden is following this story closely. Monica, for years, California has used an independent redistricting commission to sort all this out. So explain why the governor is planning to change that.
Well, Dan and Nama, it's the impetus for a lot of Newsom's political actions recently, and that is President Donald Trump. Last week, Trump publicly said that he wants Texas to add 5 new GOP-friendly U.S. House seats in a special session that kicks off in Texas today. The question now is if California lawmakers or the voters want the state to do the same in the name of winning in the 2026 midterms. From podcasts,
guys are literally going to rig de facto the outcome in November next year. I can't just sit back passively, can we?
To public appearances.
We can sit on the sidelines, talk about the way the world should be, or we can recognize the existential nature.
Governor Gavin Newsom keeps talking about retaliatory redistricting after President Donald Trump asked Texas to draw more Republican stronghold congressional seats.
5, I think we get 5. And there could be some other states. We're going to get another 3 or 4 or 5 in addition. Texas would be the biggest one, and so that'll be 5.
Are you calling in for a complete redrawing of the congressional map?
No, just a very simple redrawing.
Newsom is considering asking the legislature to redraw its U.S. House maps or pass a ballot measure for voters to reevaluate California's independent redistricting commission. And it's getting mixed reaction in the assembly.
I think there is interest in the idea, but there's also a lot of hesitation.
Milpitas Democrat Alex Lee calls the proposal anti-democratic.
Democrats have stood for fair and free elections, against gerrymandering, and a universal suffrage. It is a betrayal of the party platform to go back on something that we are against. And yes, I understand we want to recapture the House, we want to do all these things, but it frustrates me that we would rather cheat.
Whether it's for Republicans or Democrats, it's not something that I support.
Across the aisle, Fresno Republican David Tongipa agrees.
I think what people are really craving right now is just good governance. And I don't want Texas to gerrymander and redistrict, whether it supports the majority party in place and the party that I'm part of. Republicans should be prepared to say and offer something valuable without having to cheat the line.
Both say there are factions of their parties willing to fold. As experts predict, California is at risk of losing House seats in 2030.
And the last census, 2020, we already saw that California's population was shrinking. That's why we lost 1 congressional district. But if we don't grow at the same rate as the rest of the country, our relative share of congressional districts will go down.
Several assembly members and staffers I've talked to say that this would be an incredibly heavy lift to make it all happen in a short amount of time. They would need to get 2/3 of passage in both chambers of this constitutional amendment, get that on a ballot in a special election, and all of this, of course, costing millions of dollars. But they do note that it would not be the first time that Governor Newsom gave lawmakers a mandate at the last minute. So it is possible, Dan and Nama.
Possible, but we're still a long way, I guess.
Yes, definitely.
All right.